Hi, this is Erik Kohlström, a Swedish-based illustrator, and I'd like to show you a little time lapse of when I painted a sparrowhawk in Photoshop. It was a spontaneous project, about 1 hour from start to finish. And as you can see here, I'm starting with a very quick and loose line drawing sketch. I'm using a brush that's it's sort of square, sort of almost opaque, but with a little bit of flow jitter in it. And as I go along, I try to develop the planes of the bird. I want the bird to be three-dimensional, and I want to work with the planes where the light might catch or the light might not catch, because we have the shadows as well. And what I do here is that I make a shape layer, a vector shape layer, to quickly define the shape of the bird and provide myself with um, a sort of a, a template for the shape to create a clipping mask later. And of course, this line that this creates is very stiff and inorganic. So what you want to do if you want to really create a realistic painting is that you need to sort of blur it up in the edges where the feathers aren't going to be so binary. The edges are not going to be that hard. So what you see me doing here is actually to start to introduce a little bit of blur and a little bit of translucency into the parts where the light might shine through. This is all kind of an experimental process. I haven't been working like this for too long, so this is just me trying stuff out. I think it works all right, and it needs to be more refined. But yeah, I feel that this is a way to go right now. Okay, so I've created a clipping layer here where I can paint stuff on top of the shape that I created. And now I'm starting to block in the colors here. I'm using a dark blue, purplish for the wings, and sort of a brown tone for the belly. What makes me choose these colors is that I want something that's not too bright, not too saturated, not too anything. I want to be able to have these colors and hues as a baseline, and then I want to be able to add highlights and deeper shadows. When I look at this in hindsight, I'm thinking that maybe I should have gone a little bit more in the middle of the spectrum. It's quite dark, but never mind. You live and you learn. All right, so I've started to add in a little bit of detailing here. I'm starting to add in different parts of the bird. The belly here has a deep shadow, and it will move towards more sun exposure in the top part. I've also started to put a little bit, if you see on the tail of the bird, there's actually some coloring that's not just how the light falls, it's actually darker and brighter portions of the tail of the actual feathers have different colors on different places. Switching over to warmer colors here, we have parts of the bird where the warm light will strike, and that's the pinkish and orange tones. An eye, a shadow on the eye, and a little highlight where the light shines. And here comes a little bit of reflections, and the eyeball is is glassy and reflects the light from the environment. So you have a little bit of the direct light that hits, and then some of the ambient light. Also, some highlights on the feathers on the back, and a little bit of spots where the light might be harder. So here we have the basics laid down here. Now it's just a matter of refining stuff, and what I'm doing here is that I'm adding in a number of these striations, the coloring on the chest and the belly of the bird, and I'm just painting those on top, trying to work a little bit with more saturated, deeper colors where the shadows hits, and more desaturated, brighter in the direct sunlight. The it's one thing to paint light and shadow on an object, and another thing to paint the actual colors of the objects. And this is an area where I really need all the practice I can get. It's I guess something that people who study art at art schools spend a lot of time honing these skills and trying to perfect them. I guess it's a lifelong learning experience, but anyway, yeah, I haven't done the claws yet, so here I'm starting on the branch where the bird is perched, and I'm trying to just find an appealing shape of the branch. I'm not that was a bit of a struggle, but I ended up on a slightly diagonal branch with a bit of shading, and yeah, just putting the claws, the toes on the feet, and creating the talons. I'm working very sketchy here. This is a speed painting. You could probably spend days just sketching out bird feet and trying to get the anatomy right. That's not what I'm doing in this particular video, and this is just quickly getting something down there. But also here you will have shadows falling on the parts that are underneath the bird, and also the bird will cast a shadow on the branch. So moving back to the back of the bird, this is, yeah, I actually wrote that to stop doing so much tiny details. I just want to hint at the fact that there are feathers and the feathers reflect things. And yeah, now for final touches, I'm trying to add. I've created a soft light layer here, and I'm trying to get a little bit of ambient light from underneath the bird, that maybe a sunset or something like that. And just some finishing touches, cropping, changing the aspect ratio a little bit of the picture, adding in a little bit of finalizing touches to the background, and yeah, that's about it. So this is a speed painting project, trying to work fast, trying to not get bogged down in details. I had a lot of fun. I hope it was interesting to watch as well, and thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye bye.